All right, we'd like to welcome you to the second Conscious Crew podcast. I'm DJ Marty McFly. Today we've got to my right, we've got Midwest Matthew.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Drama Mafia Music, what's up?
All right, so today we got a few topics. We're really happy with how the last podcast came out. We got a good response from that. Almost 2,000 viewers on that so far.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good. That's real nice. We appreciate everybody taking a look at that, and we're gonna keep bringing you these about every other week. Right now, every other Sunday. So we're up here early morning, and we're excited to be here. Like I said, and we're gonna get into some things. Well, why don't you guys first introduce yourselves and tell us, what are you guys doing out here? What is your movement and what's going on?
All right, well, I'll start. So I go by the name of Midwest Matthew. That's my stage name. I do some music. I've been doing music for a minute. Just released a new album. It's called Black God. Please go get that. I have a film that I'm working on as well. And I do a little bit of everything besides that. So acting, filming, or videography, photography, music, all that type of stuff. Events.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Then in my regular stuff, I do accounting. Like, I got a day job and stuff. But, artistically, that's what I do is the other stuff.
Right, Drama Mafia Music, I music produce, I'm an MC. Been getting into the promotion, working with DJ Marty. Those Conscious Crew events got me really excited right now. Putting a lot of energy into that. Also, side note, I do mentoring, energy healing. Anybody's interested in that, hit me up. That's on like a one-on-one basis type of thing. So.
Cool. I appreciate both y'all being here on the show today, and we've been working together for a while. Like I said, with Drama for a few months, and it was Matthew about a decade. So,
and I'll just say I appreciate the opportunity to come onto the show as well. So
me too. I appreciate. I'm happy to be here.
It's a nice thing.
Yes. I'm very happy to be here.
Word. So we want to get into some things with Drama. We had talked about that. You study Access Consciousness. Why don't you tell us about Access Consciousness and what that's all about?
Access Consciousness is it's like a set of tools. It's basically like a philosophy of living in the question. I don't want to speak on behalf of Access Consciousness because I study it, but there's a lot. It's a modality that encourages question instead of coming to conclusion. It's a set of tools that I use in my everyday life. Makes life much easier. If anybody wants to learn any more about that, hit me up.
Sure.
I'm easy to talk to.
Right. And then we got a Conscious Kickback event coming October 19th at 7 p.m. We're always doing the free food. We get there early and take advantage of the free food.
The energy was great at the last one, man. I love it. I love seeing the city come together. Yep. Have a good time, safe.
All ages.
Yeah, I've been doing hip hop 20 years, and most shows have drama. There is no drama. That's what we like to see. We want to see everybody come together, a little unity in the community.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, man. So again, October 19th at 3619 6th Avenue in Des Moines. You've been there. You like those shows? What do you think about them?
Yeah, I think the shows are dope. They switched it up. Like the first one, they had it on they had it on a particular stage and then a certain setup. The second one, they switched it up, had different lighting, a different vibe. Really, everybody was a little bit more enclosed into the space and whatnot. So I like that. And I think more people came out for the second one, or at least more of a certain demographic. The first one was more family, had like some younger kids and whatnot. The second one was like people 18 to 30 to 35 years old, and it was just a good mix. So like it was just a fun time. I had fun.
Man.
Yeah.
Right.
So excited.
So for this next one, we're actually going to bring out some poets. So we're going to have the Conscious Crew artists. We're getting to bring in the conscious music. So what I'm talking about is we like positive and peace and all that, but it's not always that sweet. Sometimes you do talk about those real life situations, and that's cool. We just do it in a way where it's enlightening upon the negative situation instead of glorifying it. So we're going to have those artists on our main stage, and then on the front stage, in between sets, we're going to have poets coming out. So if you're a poet and you got something to share, and share some enlightenment upon what's going on in your life, then we want you to hit us up and see if you want to be a part of that.
I really love the synergy of the Conscious Crew, man. Like conscious hip hop's been done before, but I really feel like the energy we bring in is on like the next level of conscious hip hop. It's like the world's waking up, man, and I feel like we're right with that movement.
Word.
And then a quick question. So, because I know that there's a lot of poets and stuff just from past events I was doing, and so if they want to get onto one of those shows, what do they do? Like, if there's a poet that's gonna watch this and see it, what do they do to contact you?
Right. So you can comment in this video.
Right.
Comment in this video. Again, the show is October 19th. So if you're available, I think that's a Saturday. Normally we rock them on Fridays. This time we're gonna hit a Saturday.
Yep.
And,
Join that Conscious Crew collective.
Yes, definitely. So there's a Facebook group called the Conscious Crew Collective.
Yeah.
And we're always posting enlightening material on there. Artists and conscious artists are posting stuff on there. And also make sure you go follow our Conscious Crew page.
Yes.
So that and then every artist that's a part of this collective is their materials on that page as well. So make sure you're looking for that. But yeah, as far as the poets, comment in this video and reach out to one of us, and we definitely have you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're definitely still looking for poets. So.
Yes.
All right. So we talked about the conscious, access conscious. We talked about what we do. So about the Conscious Crew movement, where do you see this going, and what's some of the goals? I have a big hand in this too, but we want to always reach out to people, and we're always looking for new opportunities.
Man, what I was telling Matt and Marty earlier, man, is I've been an artist my whole life, and I'm just trying to give the opportunities that I wish were there for me, and maybe give some guidance, ideas, and what we're doing here is creating a platform. I wanted to the moon. I really wanted to see people go to the moon. The city needs a scene, which people complain is, we don't get any support. We don't get any support. Well, we need to be proactive about that. Let's build that scene then. Let's work together. You know what I mean? Some of the bigger cities, they got a scene because they all support each other. Let's do that.
Right.
Keep it positive, uplifting. We ain't got to kiss each other's ass, but,
Right. Well, Drama, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right, for sure, man.
And I'm a little sick, but I'll give you a fist bump.
Yep.
All right.
Y'all be good.
All right, for sure, bro.
All right, bro.
Have a great day. Appreciate Drama coming through, doing his thing, and we're gonna let's slide to my right. All right, cool. All right, peace, bro.
All right, bro.
All right. So it was a good point that people need to come together, and he's saying a lot of times people are saying they don't have the opportunity and all this and that. And I don't go for that, man.
Yeah.
I think people make their own opportunities, and it's people doing themselves a disservice by saying that they don't get the opportunities that they think they deserve. Work for it.
And real quick, because we talked about it briefly before the show started. I did want to say I read a book. I want to say it was Mastery. I think I read two at the same, around the same area, so I might have it wrong. But I believe in the book Mastery, they're talking about you have to get your 10,000 hours to become a master or something. And then also the biggest thing with succeeding or whatever is is opportunity plus being prepared when the opportunity arises. So you want to work on being prepared. And as soon as an opportunity arises, you want to jump on it, if it's something that you feel like you can take care of, like a radio show, podcast. If you invite somebody on or whatever, you want to make sure you can show up just for that 30 minutes or whatever time you could put in, it all helps.
Right, I agree, and it definitely, you got to master your craft. I'm with that. So, a lot of people are noticing maybe this new logo in the back. This is the Conscious Crew logo. Right, so at top you see covert to overt. We're not trying to keep nothing secret. Everything is up front. Taking things from covert to
I'll
overt.
move a little bit so they can check it out.
Yeah. So, it's got the Enzo circle around the outside, that people are, infinite. your potential is infinite. So, we want one of the points of this show is to take things that people don't know, or that they fail to accept.
They fear.
That they fear, and just put it out there. With the artists, people a lot of times they're dragging their feet. They're coming up with every excuse in the book. Oh, I gotta do this today. That's why I can't do it. I gotta, they gotta move. They gotta clean their house. They gotta, they gotta do this or that. These type of opportunities, they don't take all day. You know what I mean? Don't be scared of the opportunity. It's only an hour of your time to come on here and just do this. But you want to, and as an artist, I see a lot of artists, they always want to show up to go perform. Performing is important. It's one of the most important things for an artist to make money. But at the same time, you going to perform for 5-10 people in this venue as a starting artist, but you won't come on to an opportunity like this where you have potential to see a few thousand people, growing potential. You can reach 1 million people on these shows. Yep. Like take advantage of these opportunities as if it was,
everything.
The show. Because if you only them 10 people. I'm sorry to tell you, them 10 people at the venue, them 100 people at the venue, they're not gonna be the ones that take you to the next level. These type of opportunities are what's gonna take you to the next level.
Yeah, it kind of like what you're saying. Like you treat everything like it's big. So, I mean, it kind of goes into preparedness. So yeah, you might have a bad day, or you're not really at the level where you're gonna perform real good or whatever. But if you go into a show, you perform as if you're performing for like Jay-Z's in the crowd. If you get invited to a podcast, if Jay-Z was at a barbershop or something down the street, you might, and you heard he was in town, you'd be like, oh, let me run over there and like try to give him my mixtape, right? So if you get invited onto some type of show, or you get some type of opportunity, you want to treat it just with the same type of weight like that would have, because you put everything aside to go, see a Jay-Z or see a Tupac or whatever, and go connect with them. So you want to network with the people that are in your city and, pop up, especially if people are giving you those opportunities, and it's all promo, it's all good, and it helps you practice. This is radio right here, pretty much, pretty much got a radio thing going on.
So, yeah, that's a good point. I agree with you. The internet is infinite. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might blow up in China. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where is this gonna grab? So yeah, it's just imperative as an artist. But a lot of artists, I feel like they feel entitled. Like we've been working at this for 10 years, so it's like, a lot of people feeling entitled as, I'm an artist. Like I'm a DJ. So I do have a certain amount of setup. I do get, I got different things I got to do. But as an artist, you say, hey, could you do this, for yourself? Could you promote yourself? Oh, I'm not the promoter. I'm the artist. They don't want to help set up nothing. They don't want to help tear down the shows if you're going on tour or whatever. Like, bro, you're not Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a big artist, so you need to do the footwork and be a part of the process of the squad. Because if not, you're not willing to put the work in. As soon as the other people stop putting the work in for you, you're done. You know what I mean?
And it's something that gets into habit too. So the more work you're doing and you're helping out, people are. It gets into your mode. So you're always just ready to work. You know what I'm saying? So if you're around and you might. For example, I did because I do some acting. So I got booked for this little ad or commercial. Not little, I should say. I got booked for this ad or commercial, and I'm shooting at a restaurant. And they were setting up the restaurant, so all the chairs are up on the tables, and I'm just, pulling down the tables because that's what everybody else is doing. I'm pulling down the chairs because that's what everybody else is doing. And then the dude that hired me, the director or whatever, he was like, "Oh, you're the talent. You don't gotta help us with the chairs. You could just sit back or whatever, And I'm like, well, like we're all working together, So I'm gonna help you with the chairs. Everybody else is helping you. There's nothing that's beneath me, Right. If I see some trash on the floor, I can pick it up, because once you get your own stuff that you're doing your own events or whatever, you're going to have to work just as hard, picking up trash, picking up whatever, You can't be foreign to just doing little work.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. But man, you had told me about us a little piece. We're gonna start a segment on this podcast with the good news. We're gonna call it the good news segment. With all this enlightening, and sometimes it can be kind of dry or whatever, but we want to bring some positivity to the light too. So what you got for the good news today?
Yeah, so they put me with the task to find a little bit of good news, and what I can think of, what I've been seeing circulating around. So there's Olympic sprinter Allison Felix. She breaks Usain Bolt's world record just 10 months after giving birth. And they were saying that she's a single mother. I don't know about that or whatever, but whatever the case, she broke his record. She's a mother, and yeah, so that's a little piece of good news.
Track star.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. That is wild. Congratulations to her. If she ever hear this.
Yeah. Shout out to
what's her name?
To Allison Felix.
Allison Felix. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's amazing, man. That a woman at that, that's amazing, because Hussein had the record for a minute, and
yeah, he thought he was the hottest thing. I seen him in the memes and whatnot. But
didn't he get busted though? I ain't gonna get too negative, but didn't he get? He had some allegations.
Hormones and stuff.
Something.
I don't think so. I think yeah, there was a little something, but I don't want to say it was juicing because I don't know for sure. It was just something. It was some type of little controversy and stuff. But I mean, it couldn't have been really juicing because he still holds the record. True. It has to be something, just some type of controversy. Just people talk about different stuff.
Right.
He's still dope, but now there's a woman that beat his record.
Good for her.
Shout out to all the women out there doing their thing.
For sure. All right, so man, like I said before, we've been doing this for a minute. What do you think has been part of the process from where we started, to where we are now, and what have we done that's worked? What have we done that's not worked? Mm-hmm. Because it's been a process. It's been a lot of the process wasn't things that we did, but knowing how to do it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't respect, or maybe they respect it, but they're not aware of how to do the things. So when we're trying to tell people, things that we've learned over this whole time, we've been grinding this, they think, they just want to come in with something. We're like they just don't get it. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just in a way that we already did that. We already tried that. We've already learned that mistake. And that's how we know that we should do it like this. So what do you got on that?
Well, so one thing I want to say, a couple of things. So I would definitely recommend go get the book. It's called Mastery, and it kind of ties in kind of what he's saying. So they give some examples in that book about how, I want to say like Darwin or something. He had a couple of different interests. One was like looking at different species of birds and whatnot. And then one was like something else. But anyway, they're just saying you can combine skills. So you might be working the fries or whatever at McDonald's, which I worked at McDonald's too for a while. I really like that job. But you take those skills that you learn there, so picking up trash on the floor, figuring out how to direct people and talk to people and figure out, because I was a manager, so tell people, you should work the drive-thru because they're quick with the drive-thru. So you figure out that. And let's say your interest is music, so now maybe you later on start a record label. That experience that you had at McDonald's, you can transfer that to you working at the record label, So now you know which people are going to be best here and there, So you want to take all those experiences that you learned and try to intertwine them into whatever your dream is. So I definitely recommend that book, Mastery. But just from what he was saying, I know him for a minute. I'm one of the biggest stories I tell everybody, just because this is one of the biggest things that, as far as famous type stuff that I can come up with. So one night we linked and we made a beat. It was called it sampled Anita Applebaum's drums and some Johnny Mathis or whatever. But anyway, we sampled that at his spot, and I used to have 4 different music MySpace pages. We were coming up 2008 and whatnot, and I just had all my music on there. I put that beat up. One of the people that spit off that beat, they made a video of it, was Left Brain out of Odd Future. So back then they were just like some, they were still coming up, local people in California or whatever, but we used to connect with people all over. So that kind of intertwines with what he's saying with the podcast thing. You come on here, like, you never know who can see it. You never know who you can connect with when people see stuff online. So we had Left Brain spit over the beat, long story short. I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, okay, I like them, but whatever. I didn't think to save the video or anything. 2 years later, I see Tyler the Creator on World Star Hip Hop, and then I see Our Future blow up, and then now they're famous. So it's like little stuff like that you can kind of experience, and you might not think anything's big gonna come from it, but something can if you use it right. I didn't really use it right.
Right.
I wasn't who would have expected something like that to happen, but
Right.
yeah, I mean everything helps. So you just want to use your talents that you learn. Over the years, we've been making beats, recording, gone to different studios, did our first event. Well, at least I think it was our first event, that Halloween thing.
Yeah, right.
I think we did our first event together.
Mm-hmm.
It was here and there, but we learned from it. And then people come out. We did a second event. My first time performing on stage, like as my own show, I had like 2 or 3 people in the audience, but he was DJing, and actually I think I had 4 people. And then, I mean, hey, like you just live and you learn, and then the shows keep getting better and better and better. And now we're here, and there's like a lot more people at a show, and it's a lot more smooth, and you know how to do everything. So it's just experience.
Yeah, it is. It's been a process. Yeah, one thing that comes back to mind, man, we those first shows, we, a lot of people that I'll even throw out some tactics that didn't work. Let's be a little enlightening on. I still see people doing this. They're spamming. We were spamming MySpace back in the day. We're gonna add a zillion people that we don't know, and then post a flyer on their page. We did that 10 years ago. That thing didn't work then, and it still don't work now. It's all about the personal connections and reaching out to the people that you know, and then encouraging them to let their friends know, and spreading it organically that way, not trying to force it onto the internet here and there. I mean, there is promotion that's paid that does work, but spamming people, nah. You must give up on that. That's your one promoter tip of the week.
Another thing that would work better, because we had a difference of opinion, let's say like that, about like what we should do ourselves and then what we should have other people do. So I would say when you're doing stuff, you want to do as much as you, especially if you're like a beginner promoter or event planner, whatever. Do as much as you can by yourself. So like when fast forward back then, we hired a DJ. We paid way too much for the venue. They wanted a limit of like 1,000 or something, and then they were just, it was some shicey stuff. But we were inexperienced, so one guy, promoter,
and venues are still out here taking advantage of people. That's what I'm trying to put a stop to now. I'm saying, we ain't putting up with all that bull crap no more. Y'all gonna have to come with a real opportunity, or we're not gonna do it. Now that we got the crowd, we got some leverage.
Even if you don't have a crowd, you gotta because a guy told me that. I did some other events. This is like a few years ago, so this is way past that event. But I still was inexperienced, and he was like, "Well, everything's negotiable. So if somebody tells you, oh, you can rent out my venue for $500, okay, my event's gonna be on a Tuesday. How many people are you gonna have here on a Tuesday? So you can either make $0 on a Tuesday, or you can let me come in for this 100 or whatever, because they're just gonna try to overcharge you. So
especially
you want
to a new venue or a new event,
event promoter, or whatever. If they think you're inexperienced, so you just and if it's too much, then just walk away from the deal. Somebody will let you come in for free. You might have to do it. You can go to a library or something, and it might not work out exactly the way you want to, but you could do something, So make it work out for you and do as much as you can. So maybe instead of hiring a DJ, you learn how to DJ, so you be the DJ. You want to hire some performers, maybe go for people that are free.
A photographer, so you can promote your next venue.
Go get your own camera.
Get your own camera,
So
don't just be standing there and expect everybody else to do stuff. You're gonna be standing there forever.
Yeah, and I can't afford a camera. Well, you got the brand new iPhone, so just use your iPhone. Right. Anything happen. Just learn as much as you can. Learn video editing. Learn how to promote. Learn how to do whatever. You don't have to always contact other people. Learn how to make flyers, all that type of stuff,
Right. And then once you learn those skills, man, you can come bring something to the table for the next place too. Say you're just starting out and you're trying to do events and this and that, okay, show some grind. Show that you have some skills to bring to the table, and then people are going, oh, okay, you know, he can do this part. Okay, well, then somebody else will pay you. So you might not be just learning your own events and being able to contribute to those, but also then you're going to be a part of a bigger collaborative, and then bam, now you tied in with that. Now your events are going to do better. You know what I mean?
Yep, you got to see the big picture. And also, picture. I mean, you could bring in some more bartering too, because it's not all about cash too. Sometimes people don't have, I don't know why, like, people would act like some people like have millions of dollars to be paying out, but then at the same time, like, okay, I'm getting $10 an hour or whatever, let's say I'm working a job. Why would I act like, and then let's say I do photography on the side. Well, I'm going to charge somebody $200 for a photography shoot. They work at the same job I work at, making $10 an hour. I'm going to charge them $200 for a photography shoot. I'm just saying, like, little stuff, you can give some people a break or work with them or barter with them and be like, okay, you don't got $200 to spend on me. Let me get $100, and then just show me how you mix and master or whatever. Or like, you know, let's work out something else. So you do a little work for me. I see you make T-shirts. So how about you make a couple T-shirts for me and then give me $100? You know, something like that. Or can you cook for my next event and then I'll just take $50? Yep. You know, something like that. You want to learn how to barter a little bit and not focus so much just on cash. You know, look at the other stuff that also has value. You know, little stuff.
Yeah, even for me, you know, if artists come through and they're on my shows and you know they're helping promote, they're doing things, you know, being active in the movement, then you know I'm more likely when they call me and say, hey, can you come and DJ my show? You know, I'm liable to give them a better price or you know help them out some way or another because they're being a part of the bigger picture.
Yep. And then sometimes if you contact some people, I mean, you just got to know, like, that's just what it is. I mean, it's kind of common sense. Excuse me. But when people hit you up for an opportunity or, like, hit you up for a favor or something, hey, can you make a flyer for me? And you're like, nah, I'm going to need at least $2,000 to make a flyer for you. It's like, okay, well, then I'm not going to contact him again for anything because he's just overcharging, like, or he just wants too much. Or and everybody, there's a big thing going around nowadays, like, know your worth, know your value. Don't undercut yourself. You know what I mean? Like if you worth $500 if your work is worth $500 for a flyer, then you should charge that. But I'm saying you got to think about the other person's position. That's empathy. So the other person, okay, you're gonna charge them $500 for the flyer. They put that out. Let's say they pay you the $500. Now they're negative $500 that they got to make back at the show. So how are they going to make, let's say they're charging $10 a person. That means they got to get 50 people to come pay $10 to make back what they just spent with you for a flyer. You know, so it's a little bit about being empathetic and being like, okay, well, is this fair? You know, is this working towards what they're trying to get done? They're trying to get an event done, want it to be successful, and they want to put money in their pocket. Can I do this for a reasonable rate that'll help us both?
Let me move something a little bit further down the line, though. So say, for example, we ain't there, but say, you know, you're working with a group, and then you do end up getting on a national act. You get on a tour. Okay, now maybe that flyer is worth $500 because this tour is grossing $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So now maybe whoever makes that flyer, you're gonna show that love. So it's about showing your loyalty too and sticking with a certain movement. And you know, if it does grow, it grows, then you know, and those acts that are on the flyer and that promoter and that DJ, whoever else, that movement grows, then you're gonna come up with it. You know, as long as you continue to stay relevant in your craft, you're working on your craft. Okay, you've been here from the beginning, so now your flyer is worth $500. Yeah, you know, we could go somewhere else. We go down to Image 360 and have them whip up a flyer for us, but we're gonna mess with you because you've been present, you've been you know, available, and you know, you do good quality work. So we're gonna pay you. I mean, like I said, you know, same thing with artists and everybody else. It takes a little faith. You gotta have a faith in the movement, because as an artist, a lot of people say, you know, they thinking that they can just come, you know, and not help promote. You know, they you know, they're not putting their all into it. You know, you got to really jump into it. If you're not, then you could be switched out easy. You know,
there's so many people.
There's so many artists, there's so many DJs, whatever. But it's about who puts in the work. If the person's putting in work, then they can't be replaced. If they're not putting in the work, I just can go to the next at any time.
Yeah.
And it's nothing.
Especially if it's no, if you're not making money off of them or making any money out of it, and you're doing it out of your own time, your own free time, your own, you putting yourself on the line and you put in your own labor. I mean, what is it to really? Okay, you can't accept the free work. Well, then I can give somebody else the free labor.
Right.
And then with that, so what do you think? Because I do have a question about pay for play. Then, because I have an opinion on that, but it's from a certain point of view. Some people, they kind of got to think about that. So
that's a good segue, because artists say, well, I'm not gonna put my all into it because I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid to do it. Well, you're not gonna continue to get paid it's a catch-22 because if you don't put the work in, you're not gonna get paid. So but as far as pay to play, I'm coming with a different system on these shows. There's shows where we got a collaborative account, I'll say, to where profits are going directly in this account. They're sitting there, and we talk about where we're going to spend that. Maybe on merch. Maybe we're going to spend that on because the merch is going to merch is going to make more money. But maybe bring an artist in, do different things as a collaborative. We can do that. But there's also other shows. So there's donation based where you want to donate your performance. Okay, we got these shows for you. Then on the other side, if you want to make money to do shows, we can start that. We're gonna do percentage of profit. So say there's the DJ, Blockheads Entertainment, that's my company. You got them, they get a third. You got 2 artists on the show. So that's the other 2/3.
Yeah,
so,
like each one gets, maybe one gets 10%, one gets 10%, one gets 30%, depending on what they do. Just roughly, it's not like accurate percentage.
Well, percentage of profit is percentage. So say, for example, say the show does $1,000, we have $500 in expenses, just to make it easy. 500 divided by 3. My math ain't that good, but whatever that is, that's broke down between the DJ / company. That's me, the artist. And the other artists, if you got 2 artists on the show. But see, I don't want an artist if they're not putting in the work.
Yeah.
Because if you're not helping promote, what's that? That's like you just taking advantage of the system. You're not being a part of the movement.
Well, real quick, so I mean, like when an artist, let's say I'm an event planner or whatever, and I say, hey, I need artists to come on the show. So if you want to come on the show, I'm charging $50 for a spot. What do you think about that? That's what I meant for pay to play.
Right. So I never.
You think that's good or not? I can tell mine first if you want, but.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't like it. I wish it didn't have to be like that. I see a lot of promotion companies doing that, and they're charging artists to get on shows. Have it be a local show, or if it's a major act coming through, they're gonna make them pay $200 to be an opening act. And here is why. As a consumer, art and performance should always, number one, it should be about the show. How good of a show can we put on? Now, because this cat has $200 doesn't mean he's the best performer that should be on this show. Doesn't mean that he matches the vibe of the show. It doesn't mean none of that. So I'm really not for it, but I'm also not for lazy artists. Like, hopefully is somebody either going to put the money up or they're going to put the work in. If you can't do neither one, then we really don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't like pay to play, but I've seen it work for promoters. You know what I mean? And basically they're just taking advantage of artists. That's how I feel. And as a promoter, I could do that. Anybody that starts to do a lot of shows and build a little buzz, they can start to generate some income off of that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it, though. It just to me, it should be about the person that comes to watch the show.
Yeah.
They should be like, wow, that show was dope. Not have, and then another thing, they like to load the shows up with 100.
Oh yeah, that's just as bad
that's
promotion.
bad.
That's a bad event.
Yeah, it's a bad event when you got 12 openers running, and as a DJ, I've been booked for promoters like that before. Like, hey, we're gonna have these 12 openers, man. Can you run these guys through real quick? Then we gonna get Scarface on, or we're gonna get gonna get. You know what I mean? I've been on these little tour things, and they want you to run through these opening acts. because they're getting a check off of all these artists. And and for them it's like a sure bet. It's like they got their money from the artists up front. Now everything that come at the door, all their expenses is paid. Everything that come through the door now, that's cash. You know what I mean, for them. So it's a good business model as a promoter. But
not
for the short term.
Well, yeah, business part. But as far as the fun or the experience of the event, it's not really good for the consumer when you have that, like he's saying. But from my perspective, what I say is, because some people, I had a guy tell me, he was like, pay to play is not an opportunity. That's what he put on this little post I put out. But so what it is like, as an event planner, if you got so many expenses, let's say you go rent a venue, you're going to DJ it, let's say, or you pay for a DJ. You're going to make a flyer, and you're going to bring people out. Now, and then you want people to fill up the show. You don't know how many people are going to come or whatever, but you already did all this work. And then you tell artists, look, let me get $20. You can come on and you could do the show or whatever. I'm going to have like maybe 3 artists. So you just made $60. And then after that, I mean, you can split the profits or whatever, but I'm just saying that's the way I see pay to play. Like I was doing pay to play more so. And I think what I was doing also, I was doing contests. So whoever's the hottest, they'll get back $50 or whatever. So part of the pay to play went into that expense of the prize money. But it's the way I see it is it's no different than 3 artists coming together. If 3 artists come together and say, let's throw an event together, they're gonna have those expenses anyway. So I'm gonna do all the hard work and I'm just gonna charge you $20, $60 together, but I'm gonna book the spot, pay them whatever they gotta get paid, work out that deal, and everything. You just pay me my $20, yeah. And then if people come, then from there it just kind of goes with your integrity and what you want to do as far as the door. If you get 50 people in there, then yeah, you should share that with the artists and have them make back some of that money. But that's my position on pay to play. But I understand some people, they won't do it. I think they do it. I think there's a right way to do pay to play. I think there's a wrong way. So that way, I don't think you don't tell somebody. Well, also if there's a big artist coming and you charge $200, that's still kind of excessive to me. But for a 15-minute spot or whatever, but charging somebody for a big artist and you want to, get in front of all those people, as an independent artist, you got to have some money and, put up some money sometimes, invest in yourself and get in front of a big crowd. That's what goes back into the preparedness and the opportunity. So if you know you're going to blow out the water,
you got your promotional materials ready. And
you got your merch. You can make back to $200.
Right.
You got your album.
There you go.
So, yeah, the baby's coming or 2 Chainz, and your stuff is gonna be hotter than theirs, and you're gonna be opening for them. Yeah, go up there. You pay your $200, knock it out the park,
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Damn, who is that?" Okay, I want to go. Vibe with him. I've seen it. I just went to the Louisiana concert. There's one guy on there. It was like I was at a opening for Lil Wayne and Trey Songz and all of them, Cash Doll, and he didn't even know his words. He was just like, yeah, but then the song's playing, and and like his body language, I'm like, oh man. So it might be what you're saying, like there's some people that aren't ready and they just got the money, so they just put up the money. But so it goes into that mastery thing. You want to be prepared, and then you want to take that opportunity. So if you're prepared, you might as well take it. Put up the money.
See, I'm thinking of a process here where if you have an artist, now this is hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
You might be that artist. All you gotta do is get behind yourself. If that could be you.
Yeah.
If you got an artist that's willing to grind with you, would you bring them on as a partner? If they would put a flyer on every pole, if they would take flyers to every place, if they share every post, if they're creating content for the event, if they're doing everything to help the show become successful, would you bring them on as a percentage of profit partner?
In what type of way though? Because
Instead
when you say
of
partner,
okay.
partner for what though?
Okay, so either if you'd have to, every event would have to be
you're talking about for an
pay to
event,
play,
for
almost,
one event.
yeah,
would
one
you just
event.
bring them on as a partner if you, the party promoter, are linking with them and they're willing to do a lot of the work?
Right.
Yeah, I would say definitely. You just split it 50-50. So pretty much you're both just going to be event promoters. So you're going to do event promoting from your knowledge standpoint, and then they're going to be an event promoter. Then also they're going to be the artist too. So there's also that aspect. So they might have to do a little bit less work as far as the event promotion. So maybe they don't got to stick stickers everywhere, but they'll hang up flyers, maybe do the flyer, that type of thing, get that type of stuff ready, because they're already going to be performing too. So,
see, I'm beg to differ a little bit, because I could be like, I'm a hustler though. I don't stop. So, so like, I could be like, you know, I'm a DJ. All I do, I just, you know, play records.
Yep.
That's it. But I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
To make sure that everything is as successful as it could be.
So yeah, it comes back to integrity and authenticity or whatever. So like, whatever, because I mean, it just depends on the person. Like me, I would be like, okay, they're doing a lot of the work. I haven't really done nothing, so I might as well, you know. So it depends on the person. You
How
know,
bad
so
you want it.
yeah, some event promoters, they might be just about the cash, so they're like, dang, I need to get some money. They're doing a lot of work, but I'm gonna take 70% still.
Right.
You know, so it really just depends on the person. So if you're that type of person, then yeah, I would say you go ahead and give them 50%. You take 50%. You both, and I mean, if you make it 500 off the show, 250, that's good. You know.
But it don't make sense to split your money with somebody that's not gonna match your hustle. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do 50, you wouldn't do 50-50 with somebody. I mean, because some of those terms can be loose. I mean, like general or legal and have different meanings and stuff. So I won't really say a partner, but just two individuals. If you're going into business with somebody, you don't want to do 50-50 with somebody and then they don't do anything and you do everything.
Right.
You might as well have them do an 80-20. It depends on what their role is and what exactly they're going to do. If they're like, I'm just an artist, okay, well, you're going to get to 20% because, or you get to 30% or whatever. Like, that's your thing, because I'm going to have to
and all them amounts, the thirds, that's a concept. That's a concept.
Yeah, it could all change.
Like I said, if you're just an artist, you may not be entitled to anything. You know what I'm saying? If all you want to do, if you're not even a proven artist, and you just coming on, you don't have no following, no material, you want to get on the show, you know, really it's just an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
If you've been out here grinding, doing certain things, you know, everything is negotiable, like you said before.
Yep.
Everything's negotiable.
And I like to do flat fees, really. If I'm going to throw a show and I know I can make some a certain amount of money or whatever, I just do whatever's fair for the artist. So some people, like, shout out, well, I'm just going to say there's some bands out there. Well, I do like them anyway. They're still doing the thing. Feel Right Band. You know, I know that they have like a flat rate just because I've contacted them before because I wanted them to do a certain event. But there's other bands that are probably the same. They just got their flat rate, like, oh, I'll do this event for this amount. So there's that. But then if people don't have a certain amount and I'm just contacting the artist, I might be like, hey, so I got $40 for this show because I know like about how much I can make off of it, and it's like, well, that seems what's fair. I got $20 if you want to get onto the show. I got 10. I got 100 for this show. So I like to just do flat rates sometimes too, and not even do percentages.
Word. All right. Well, shoot. We appreciate you hopping on and always,
yes, indeed,
always like kicking it with you. So, man, again, we got the October 19th show. It's the Conscious Kickback at 3619 6th Avenue. Starts at 7 p.m. We got the Conscious crew coming through. We got poets on the front stage. So please feel free to come through for that. It's $5. You can get your ticket in advance on Facebook through Eventbrite. Be sure to grab those. It is a limited show. It's only max capacity over here. So we've been getting close to that on the last show, so be sure to grab your ticket in advance. It also makes it easier when you come to the door. You just your phone, you in. So,
okay. And I just want to say, so shout out everybody in Conscious Crew, or even not in Conscious Crew, all the local musicians, artists, creative people, and just everybody local. Shout out everybody around here and everywhere, you know. So
for sure.
Thank you for letting me come on here. Make sure you guys go to that next event, and yeah, shout out Marty McFly on the ones and twos and everything.
All right, for sure.
I'm kind of sick. I'm still kind of sick right now.
All right.
I kind of got a stuffy nose, so.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we appreciate y'all. We're going to keep bringing things, from the covert to overt, we'll say, and shedding light on situations. And we're going to see y'all next time. Peace.